Thank you very much for visiting our channel. Today we're gonna talk in English about some funny and surprising experiences we had while studying in the United States after turning 40.
We've been reminiscing about our student life in America more often lately.
It's probably because the last video we did.
It was tough, but definitely fun. Leaving Japan really changed my perspective.
We spent 8 years there, so we've got tons of stories. Should we start with the one where we both proctored that exam?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments. When he was assisting his professor in grad school, who was also my advisor, the professor asked us to proctor his linguistics exam together.
Right, because there was just so much cheating by the international students from a certain country, and my professor had noticed their suspicious moves while taking exams.
I'd heard that too. And right before the exam we proctored, the professor made this joke to the student, saying, "You got a black belt in karate, so if you feel a sharp pain in the back of your neck, that's her."
They totally believed it. People seem to think all Japanese folks must know some kind of martial art. Just pretend to hold a bamboo sword, got them all worked up like, whoa.
Our university even had a karate club, judo club, and kendo club, and it was like, are they gonna start an aikido club next? Pretty surprising, huh? There were so many students in the US who excitedly talked to us about anime, right?
Yeah, like suddenly saying, Ponyo, Sosuke, ski, which totally caught me off guard. But we didn't know much about the latest anime, so we couldn't really respond. It is like they automatically assume that if you're Japanese, you must know martial arts and all the anime. By the way, I was surprised by how people who learn Japanese from anime speak with an accent just like native Japanese speakers.
Anime is huge, even in language learning. Speaking of anime, do you remember Muchan? The grade student I was tutoring for his Japanese language class.
I do remember him.
He seriously asked me, do Japanese people still dress like samurai? I thought he was joking, but he was totally serious.
Really, but yeah, samurai and ninja are super popular there.
Oh, and ninjas reminds me, we dressed up as ninjas for the Japan Club's Halloween event and even won a prize, right? This is a photo from the party.
Yeah, but then we get carried away and dressed up as ninjas again for Japan Night event's reception, and it completely backfired. Everyone was really put off. It was like around the time of the IS hostage crisis, so I think our ninja outfits unfortunately reminded people of that.
It was like we'd gone a little bit too far for our age.
Exactly. Speaking of international students, remember when we played catch with our close friend Mr. A white American, Mr. B, black immigrant from Liberia, Africa, and Mr. C, a Korean student?
Yeah, we thought since it's America, the land of Major League Baseball, everyone would naturally know how to play baseball.
But that wasn't the case at all. Mr. A was scared, saying, "What if the ball hits my face?" Mr. B, who had apparently never even watched baseball, insisted on using a right-handed glove even though he's a right-handed. The only one who could actually play catch was Mr. C from Korea, an Asian. We couldn't stop laughing.
I can still vividly remember that scene. I hope everyone's doing well.
Speaking of campus life, there were those certain alerts on our phones like, "Be careful, there's a suspicious man with a rifle on campus."
It was on another occasion, but there was also that incident where a professor got shot.
Did we also hear gunshots near a place several times?
Yeah, even though we didn't keep a gun, it seems like most families had one in their house.
And people casually keep rifles in their cars for protection against bears or wolves. America really is a society where people are expected to protect themselves.
We are talking about whether we should get a gun too, right?
We even went to a shooting range.
Of course, if the need ever came up, I was the one who'd been shooting. It was like You can count on me.
Another thing that surprised me about American universities was the math tests. I was shocked to know that you can bring a calculator to the exam. That's unheard of in Japan.
Right.
And there was even an English test where they let you bring a dictionary. Usually, those are the hardest tests though.
Yeah, I could manage a calculation in my head just fine, but reading the English in the word problem took me so long that I had to keep asking for extra time. The fact that you could even get extra time was surprising, but at some point I'd forget what the test was even about. To get an A, extra credit is a must.
Why were you so obsessed with getting A's?
Scholarship!
Right. Extra points usually depend on the professor, but to promote attendance, sometimes they say, if you write your name on the sheet, you'll get an extra 10 points. It basically gets added to your regular test scores.
So the extra point really saved me.
Extra points also consider things like participation, so American students are super eager to say anything during class, which is totally different from what we do in Japan.
Since I couldn't participate as actively as the native speakers, they were too fast for me to keep up with, I'd strategize, like sitting in the front row to show I was paying attention. I didn't have any time to worry about embarrassment, so I just focused on being brave. It definitely turned me up.
It definitely did. If you had to give some advice to people thinking about studying abroad, what would it be?
I'd say it's a good idea to pick up something rooted in Japanese culture beforehand. Taiko driving is especially popular. We even joined a local team, right?
Yeah, since there weren't many Japanese people around, we were highly valued for all sorts of things. Where it was martial arts, flower arranging, tea ceremonies, calligraphy, origami, or kimono dressing.
Japanese food is also popular, so if you can make some, people will love it. Even bento is an English word now, and since there are various events, it might be a hassle to bring a kimono, but you should at least pack a yukata or a jinbei.
You'll also get asked about Japanese views on religion, so it's good to be able to say something like, we're not really non-religious, we subconsciously follow Shinto as part of our traditional culture.
It's helpful to be able to explain a few things about Japanese culture in English, whether it's Children's Day, the Doll Festival, summer fireworks, or New Year's traditions, whatever it is. If you can't explain your own culture, people might question if you are really Japanese.
If you study abroad, it's good to do things you can't do in Japan. Make local friends and hang out with them on the weekends.
I regret not doing that. Also, having smart friends is a must. You can get help with studying when you need it. It's reassuring to have smart friends in each class. Oh, and I should mention this.
Go ahead.
If something doesn't make sense in your grade, don't hesitate to ask the professor about it. By doing that, your test or assignment scores can sometimes change.
Yes, you get an amazing 30 points up in a single assignment simply by doing that.
Yes.
The food might not always suit your taste, but you just have to deal with it.
You gained 10 kilograms in the US, didn't you?
Right.
But the vegetables were fresh and safe. The weekend farmers markets in the area were the best.
Yeah, and remember that guy who brought the wolf to the farmer's market?
Yeah, it was amazing. We finally saw a wolf. We went to Yellowstone National Park several times, hoping to see wild wolves, but never managed to spot one. And we casually saw one right in the middle of town. I'll include a picture of the wolf at the end of this video.
Oh, we have one?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. We have so much more to talk about, but we'll wrap it up here for today.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you soon.